Volume 1, Number 3. So the security issue was brought up in a security meeting that was held by Mike Smithton with his security team. They were asking questions about the promotions that were going on. They thought that there was a little bit more to the security promotions than what was being brought to Mike's attention. They wanted to know more details, and they were bringing it to Mike Smithton's attention as the CEO of the company. So Mark Walker brought it up too, and so did Brad Cunningham, Michael Conley, and Thomas Padilla, who all work for Michael Smithton. They didn't feel that it was fair that they were being pushed behind, and so was Thomas Padilla, and Jack Sherrill, who were all included in this team meeting. They felt that the head security position was not fairly decided upon. Well, I'm not deciding for Frank Rutherford. You're part of my team. I have to decide who's going to be in charge of head security too, said Mike Smithton. I need a head security guy. I have to look for the most qualified person that's going to be in charge. What Frank Rutherford is doing is separate from my security team. My security team is one thing, his security is another. Right now, as it stands right now, I don't have a head security guy, and I need to make a decision too. So let me see. Let me look at what Frank is doing right now, said Mike Smithton. Let me look at how many security people he has. Right now, he has only a couple people in his security team. So right now it makes sense that he made Mike Roberts in charge of his security team because he only has 3 people and 2 are new hires. So that makes sense. Does you see what I'm talking about? Mike Smithton says, yeah, okay, I understand, says the security team that is addressing the issue. They just wanted to make sure it was a fair deal. They don't want to be mixed up in any controversy, is what they said. They made a point that they don't want their security team to be mixed up with Frank Rutherford's team. So Mike Smithton has to make a decision. Who's going to be in charge of his security team? Jack Sherrill's basically as qualified as Mark Walker. Mark Walker is the oldest of everybody in the team. But he's not looking at age. He wants the most experienced, best qualified. He likes Jack Sherrill the most, of course, but he needs somebody to take charge. So what he does is he decides to have the team vote for the best security that would be the most qualified for team leader. So they vote. And the vote comes down to Mike Conley, who is a former police officer and an MP in the military, who has 2 children, who's also at the airport location. This means he would be moved and he would have to add somebody to the security team. So there's an open position available right now. Does anybody have anybody that they know that would be available for that open position? Because now you voted, and you voted for Michael Conley to be the team leader. So the vote is Michael Conley. Michael Conley, will you take the position as team leader? Yes, I'll take the position. Okay. Now your votes all count. You voted for Mike Conley to be the team leader. So the vote is final. All right. We agree. All right. So this team decision is now in as is. All right. We agree that on this one decision, we can't have anything to do with what Frank Rutherford is doing. His team decisions is separate from what I'm doing here, says Mike Smithton. My team is different from what he does. It's the building number 2. He's a smaller division I'm a larger division. I'm in charge of 3 separate divisions. So I need all of us to be on the same page. The team leader is going to directly come to me about all the concerns. So that being Mike Conley, you are going to be at team meetings with me. You're going to work with me directly. Okay. So now we have to fill a position. So I have to work on this with you directly. Okay. You're all dismissed. Have a great rest of your day as I work on this with Mike Conley. Mike Conley stays back as the rest of the people leave. All right, Mike, this is going to be quite complex for me because I have to fill a position. Well, I know somebody that would be willing to take that position. Do you? I can make a phone call right now and bring him in. Would he come in today for the position? Yeah. He's a former police officer, too. He just left the force. What's his name? Let me see. Let me get my phone list because I have a bunch of guys that are available. His name is Steve Michael Johnson. Well, what should I call him? Just call him Steve Johnson. Okay. He goes by Steve Michael Johnson because there's a lot of Johnsons. Okay. How old is he? He's 42. Is he single? He's divorced. He has 3 children. And that's his stats. Now, what's his experience? He was in Delta Force. And also he was a former police officer. Okay. Sounds like a really qualified guy. Sounds like somebody that should take your position. Yes, that's Michael Conley. Okay. Can you call him? Yes, I'll call him right now. So Stephen Johnson gets a phone call from Michael Conley. I'll be right back, said Michael Conley. As Michael Conley calls Steve Johnson for the position. He said he'll be right down. Oh, really? Okay, great. So he knows where to go. He knows how to get here. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. I'll help you figure this out. Well, that's what I need is I need somebody to get this organized because I need help here. I got a lot of employees. I got a lot of employee issues, and this is why I need a security team to help me figure this out. Okay. Is he, you got open carry issues with that guy? No, I don't have any open carry issues. As long as everybody has an open carry license, that's all I care about right now. Just moments later, Steve Johnson walks in. Hi, Steve Johnson's here for you, says the secretary. Oh, who is that? That's Carrie Einstein. Hi, Carrie. How are you doing? Thank you, Carrie. All right. Come on in, Steve. It's nice to see you, said Michael Conley. This is my boss, Michael Smithton. Hi, nice to meet you, Steve. I heard a lot of good things about you. I need to fill a position for security. Right now, I'm in a position where I need somebody to work at the airport location, and I need somebody that's qualified. And right now, Mike Conley, let me double check here. Mike Conley worked at the airport, and he also works at Maine, so he switches off between the Maine location and the airport. So I need somebody to kind of do both. Work at the Maine location, which is here, and work at the airport. So you need to be flexible. And here's the package. Here's the pay rate that I would be paying you and the benefits. Just take a look at it and see if this is something you'd be interested in. He looks it over. He goes, heck yeah, I'd be interested. When do I start? Today. Today? Yeah. You would be training with basically Mike Conley. He's your team leader. He just got promoted. I need I need somebody ASAP because I need to fill the shoes like quickly. So basically, you're going to follow Mike Conley. You're a friend. You guys are friends, so it's going to be easy, squeezy, lemon peasy, right? Like that kind of. Never mind. Okay, the one of the problems that I have with security issues is that we have a lot of issues with vehicles, like theft issues, like, common issues with vehicles. So that's one of the things is that we have to have a rotation. We got to make sure that our vehicles are not end up stolen, more or less. So that's probably the biggest issue. We got to have them in on time for insurance purposes. If anybody doesn't show up with the vehicle, we need a literal manual report. If I can give you like a tablet or something like that, you can mark it off on the tablet. I'll do that. But for the time being, it's a manual report. We're getting there to the point where technology's catching up with us. We're a little slow. Okay, so right now it's a manual report. But Michael will walk you through it all and just get back with me if you have any questions. Okay. All right. So Michael and Stephen go off to their training session, and Michael is satisfied with it. He just basically breezed right through this. It was much harder to deal with because what is going on in Frank's corner is a little more complicated because he just hired 2 new security guards. So now he has a security team. And really, Frank's in a worse situation than Mike Smithton because Mike Smithton does have a security team, whereas Frank Rutherford doesn't. And right now, as he goes into the office to talk to Vanessa, here lies the issue. Is their favoritism, because a lot of people are talking about this and there's chatter in the office if there's favoritism. But that can't be the case because Mike Smithton did not promote Mike Roberts. It was Frank Rutherford that did it. It was a separate issue. So this actually was not the issue at all. So whatever chatter was going on in the office, he addresses it in the Thursday report. So Mike decides to wait till Thursday to address this issue. He talks to Vanessa briefly on Thursday about this. He waits for that reason alone to address it. Listen, Vanessa, I know there's an issue with your husband being promoted, but there's no issue there because I didn't personally promote your husband. Frank Rutherford did. Frank Rutherford barely has a team together. He has got to build his security team. I think he needed to promote your husband in order to build his security team because he just hired 2 more people under Mike Roberts. I need to address the chatter and gossip in my office, and so does Frank. So when we go into report, we're going to do the report, but I'm going to address the gossip to alleviate some of the issues that are going on. Understood? Understood, said Vanessa. So Mike goes into the report, and he, instead of having a normal report, he addresses it. Listen, I want to address this stuff that's going on in the office about gossip. Okay. I know a lot of you all believe that some people get promotions because there's some favoritism, but let me address this issue. If you're not doing your job, if you're not doing what I think is personally your best, you're not going to get promoted. It's that simple. The reason why certain people are getting promoted and you're not is because you're not doing your personal best, and it's just going to come down to that simple. I want people to be promoted for the right reasons, and I feel like I promote the right people for the right reasons. So if you have a concern or issue, address it with HR. If you feel like you're not being fairly promoted for whatever reasons, there's such a thing as a non-discrimination clause in policy that we have. Otherwise, make sure you pick up your paychecks on Friday after 2 o'clock p.m. Have a great day. Thank you, Michael, for addressing it. We're sorry that happened. You're welcome.